Hey, I have a 2005 Audi A8. Has the 4.2 liter in it. Uh, I don't really have time to make full videos, but I've seen a couple on here. Kind of showed about it, but I just kind of do a quick one. I'm changing out the valve cover gasket. Right now, I'm doing the driver's side, and basically, these are the tools that I've been able to use. This was helpful to get the dipstick right here loose. There's one bolt down there. It's really hard to get to because it's like way up here. The rest I used are Torx. I have this little gadget here. That's going to be your challenge, is that the screw in that far right corner down here. And this one here. These two are bad. This metal, I don't know why they make it like, it's basically like a cheese grater. You can see how it's bowled up, so you got to watch your knuckles. This little guy here, it would get in there. It took a lot of torque to get it through. I'm trying to get this piece out. I'm pretty sure it's a T30. Pretty sure this is a T30 here. And then you have a couple of these bolts that you had to take out that hold on your timing belt cover up here. And those are a T25. So basically all the bolts come out. There's two in the center here, one in the back and one in the center, actually none towards the front, in the center of the unit. And you can see it's these here. So you got to replace the whole gasket all the way around, and then the four across here, and the ones for the bolts. Mine didn't leak at all in here. I'll show you in a second, but the back bank right here, back corner right here, is what's leaking the worst. As you can see, these screws, they have some kind of gizmo that doesn't allow them to fall out. So when you take those out, you can't actually pull them all the way out. It's tough to get that backside. You have to lift it out to get it over top of the cam on the back. I had to tilt it, jiggle it around, move it, try to get my finger under the screw to lift it up, and then just tilt it just right to get it out of here. To literally lean forward. The face came forward. I tilted it out, kind of jiggled it around, and it lifted out. So it's going to be just as hard to get back in. Let's see if I can show you. You can see back here, this corner, how much dirt is right here. I gotta clean all that up. That's where mine was leaking. So couldn't even tell it was really leaking very much, except for you'd smell it. And the other thing was you'd get a couple of drips on the concrete, especially after real long drives. But didn't seem like it was leaking much, but that's where it was. Of course, you had to pull all the, before you get started, make sure you do all your due diligence to pull everything apart. Your screws come off for the spark plug housing. I'm going to change my plugs out too while I have everything out. Coil packs, I numbered them. You want to number them and put them back in the way they came out. If it was running perfect, you wouldn't want to change them out unless you were having a bad, or change them around unless you were having a bad idle or something like that. But anyways, that's I think that's the majority of what I can see. I'm going to clean this up, get the new gasket on. Got to put a little bit of lube on the gasket and set that into place and see if I can't jiggle this thing back in. I also, just so you know, I used a long ratchet with my DeWalt and a deep socket. The hard part is holding those T units in. They don't have a magnet. Most of my sockets don't have a magnet, but when you get them in there, a lot of times your Torx want to just fall out. and I almost had to use these little, you know, generic cheapies, because if you use the ones like this, it's already on the driver, they tend to they don't fit. I can't get them to sit down in the back. They're too tall, so it hits the wall area there where your shock tower's at. So maybe this will help out. When I'm in here, I figured I'd take a look at my guides, because I've seen some problems with people who had guides issues and stuff. Everything I see in here looks really good. This doesn't look too bad. Just a little bit of carbon and build up here in the back, because obviously the back side of the motor doesn't get as much oil slosh around it up on that top side, but the wear, it doesn't look like there's much wear, so I'm happy to see what I found in here with 154,000 miles. Alright, take care. I'll take a video on the other side and upload that in a separate. Bye.